What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day. We're back at the Golden Nugget, trying to recreate the magic from last time. We're back with our boy Wolfgang, so with the two of us, we might be able to drum up some action, some deep stack 1-2, so we'll see. Stay tuned. So far, it is the nighttime, and there's a lot of tables running, so we're going to see how it goes, and if we can play another 16K pot at a 1-2 game, I'd call that a victory. Strap in. Hopefully I enjoy it. Let's get into the hands. Here at the Golden Nugget 1-2, we buy in for $2,000 for now. One of the first interesting hands, we have King 5 of spades in the cutoff. There are two players who limp, and on what seems to be a fairly passive table, let's raise it up. I size up to $15, and both limpers make the call. Going to a flop, and it's a good one, of 9-5-3 2 spades. Dream flop for us, and we're in position with a pair and flush draw. So when action checks to me, I put in a continuation bet of $25, and only the ungun limper makes the call. Going to a turn, which is a pretty good one. It's a 5. Improved 2 trips. Things just can't get better here. This player only has like $80 behind in his stack. So when he checks to me, I do something fun. I brought a lot of cash on the table and I bet out $100 in bill format. Players are talking about how it's intimidating, so to finally get an opportunity to try out this $100 bet, I go for it, and he doesn't take too long before making the call, so now he's all in for $80 total. Let's see a river. The river is a king, so, from trips into a full house, should be good here, I show, and we scoop the first pot of the day. After winning this one of my buddies joins the table. He adds on a $5,000 in his stack, and 1-2 action, baby. Add on another $5,000 in cash. We're in for $6,000 total. In this next hand, with Queen Jack offsuit, we're in the big blind, and there's a button open to $15. I'm going to make the call here. Certainly can fold this marginal hand out of position, but it's 1-2, and we're going to play some hands. Going to a flop of Queen 9-7 rainbow. I check with the top pair. He throws out a bet of 30. Pot size bet seems pretty strong given this standpoint, but we're not folding top pair just yet. I make the call. The turn comes in 8, so we do improve to a gut shot straight draw. I check to him, and he throws out another bet, this time same bet of $30, and we're not going away now. I make the call. The river is a jack, so we end up with top 2 pair. There is a 5-liner on the board, if you've ever believed that. Any 10 makes a straight. Can lead sometimes, but I check. He snap checks it back with ace queen, and we suck out. So once again, scooping another pot our way. Next, we pick up Queen Jack offsuit once again on the big blind, and there's a button straddle. It becomes a 5-way limped pot, so we're off to a flop 5 ways with 25 in the middle. The flop comes Queen 9-5 rainbow. With top pair, once again, this time we're not going to be checking. I throw a bet of $20 into the field, and we thin it out. Only the button makes the call. We're off to a turn, which is an 8. Not the most ideal card in the world, as some 2-pair combos get there. Jack 10 for a straight gets there. I still size to $45 with my strong top pair and gut shot. He makes the call once again. The river is now another queen, so improved the trips, feeling a little bit better about my hand when he didn't raise on the turn. Gonna bet again. I bet $75, and he doesn't take too long before ripping his stack in there. It's 146. Yeah, we're just not going to be folding for less than a min-sized jam, so I make the call with trips, and he does show us the bad news of Jack 10. Open-ended on the flop, got there on the turn, and it hits one of the gin cards on the river to get paid. So this hand starts with me with $5,000 of cash in the middle. I didn't record the beginning, unfortunately, but let's talk about how we got here. We have 10-8 of clubs in middle position. There's an ungun limp, and I raise to $20 with a playable hand. The player to my left and the button makes the call, so we're going 3 ways out of position. The flop comes Jack 9-8 2 hearts. With bottom pair and an open-ended straight draw out of position, I decide to check on this one. The player on my left throws out a bet of $50, almost the size of the pot. The button makes the call for 50, and with so much equity not going to be folding, we're going to call as well, hoping to improve. When the turn comes the 7 of diamonds, we get there. So I decided to actually lead out on this card. We have a straight, and there are plenty of draws to get value from, expecting our hand to be good with the second nuts right now. So I lead out for $120, and only the player on the button makes the call. He seems to clearly only have like 10x holdings here at this spot. Doesn't seem like a lot of flush draws would continue to call, but who knows? He is about $400 behind, going heads up to a river. The river is now the 8 of diamonds. Paired board, and the backdoor flush draw gets there. And like I said on the turn, I kind of put him on 10x holdings when he calls my lead on the turn there. We also block some combinations of boats with an 8 in hand. And I don't think the backdoor flush getting there is too relevant. So not too scared of that. We block full houses, and I think we can put this player in a pretty tough spot if we're chopping. So trying to fold out chops with an 8 in hand along with our straights, I go for it. I put them all in, and that's where this 5K stack of cash comes from. Maybe to fold out chops, and that's pretty much the only goal. He thinks for a while, then ultimately does put in a call. I show my hand. He shows Jack 10. So we chop it up, and that's the story of how we put a 5K band of cash in a 1-2 game. In the next hand with Queen 9 offsuit, we're under the gun when we put in the $5 straddle. Player in the cutoff, Wolfgang here, my buddy, opens it up to $15. Action folds to me, and for $10 more, Queen 9 off, let's defend, let's mix it up. Going to a flop of 7-7-5, 2 hearts. I check to him, and Wolfgang throws out a bet of $11. Onto me, we've got 2 cards over the board for $11. Let's mix it up. Definitely going to try to bluff him off of whatever holding he might have, as Queen High probably isn't good here. I just make the call for now, and we're off to a turn, which is the Jack of Spades. This time, I check once again over to him. He fires out another bet of $20, and now I think he's probably c-betting too much. This Jack here interacts a lot with our Queen and 9, so we block some holdings of Queen Jack and Jack 9. So with Queen High in a dream, we go for it. We check raise it up to $60, not a super large check raise, and he ends up folding pocket 3s face up. Obviously, we had to show our Queen High and take it down. We have a fun one. In Ace 5 of hearts and +1, I raise it up to $20 in this table. There's a cutoff player who rips it all in, their entire stack of a measly $50. And now the big blind puts in a 3-bet. But I'm laughing because the 3-bet amount is 80. He's pretty drunk and has like $200 in his stack total to start the hand. So I'm just not going to be folding here. Definitely playing to mix it up on this table. I mean, we're just going to be playing bingo maybe. We're off to a flop 3 ways when I make the call. 1 all in, so going to a mini side pot here. When the flop comes 9-9-7, 2 hearts, that's a pretty good flop for us with the nut flush draw. The big blind throws out a bet of $65 and really not a whole lot behind here. Not much of a decision, so I rip it all in. It's $120 effective total. And he makes the call for 55 more. We're off to a run out 3 ways, all in, no more action.
4.
The run out comes and we are unimproved, unfortunately, sitting with ace high. I just show ace high or announce ace high, and this big blind player shows us Jack 10 offsuit. He wins with the river to Jack. Welcome to Golden Nugget 1-2. These are the crazy kind of hands that we signed up for. In the next hand, as you can see, this table has certainly loosened up quite a bit. We have ace 8 offsuit. We're under the gun, and +1 to my left makes it $10 blind, essentially like a double straddle. So playing 1, 2, 5, 10. There are 3 players who calls the $10 and actions onto me. We've had a few shots, we've had a few drinks. What can I do to back up my decision, which was a raise to $300 with my premium ace 8 off? Apply the pressure here on this 1-2 table. I don't know, in hindsight, don't know what I'm thinking, but we're obviously just trying to have a good time. And now there's a small stack player who makes the call for like $36. So we've got some really big stacks and some really small stacks, it seems. And what seems to be fun, I thought the action would end there, but apparently the small blind makes the call as well for about $300 total. This small blind player, same player from last hand, he also has a few drinks in him as well, and this player has about $126 behind in his stack. So we're going 3 ways to a flop. The side pot is bigger than the main pot. The flop comes ace high. That's incredible. With only $126 behind in this player's stack, obviously we're not going anywhere. The small blind actually ends up ripping it all in. And yeah, we're going to call with top pair. This is one of the most ridiculous hand histories I've ever commentated on, but here we are.
What the hell is going on? 132. Yeah. It's a fucking mess.
This is what happens at the Nugget. All right, turn them over.
The run out comes 3 ways all in. Once again, we end up with 2 pair. Unfortunately, the early position player with a $30 stack shows us ace 10 high for a higher 2 pair than us. But ace 8 offsuit is going to win the larger side pot. And here we are, scooping it in as the small blind player actually had pocket 6s. He ripped it into us and welcome to the Golden Nugget.
Yep.
Action central once again. This time we pick up ace 6 offsuit in middle position. You know these offsuit aces are gonna be dicey spots, it seems. My buddy to my left actually ends up blind raising $20 out of turn. So with a lot of antics flowing right now, I decided to limp $2. The $20 blind raise is binding for my buddy to the left. Action folds to this player in the big blind, who's been, like I said, same opponent as the last few hands. He calls the $20 and action back onto me. We're pretty much playing against 2 blind and uncapped ranges, so they could have a lot of weak holdings, and I think ace high is gonna be good here. So I go for it. I put in a raise to $100. The player to my left, my buddy, makes the call for 100. He's the one sitting about $5,000 deep. And now the player in the big blind, who's relatively drunk it seems, rips his entire stack in there for a total of $188. For $88 more, we've already committed 100. Yeah, we're not going anywhere with ace high. We make the call, expecting our hand to still be good in the head. The player to my left makes the call as well. So 3 ways to a bloated pot for 1-2, off to a flop. The flop comes 9-8-8 rainbow. We are playing for a dry side pot with ace high. Don't really want to bluff into this, so I check. Player to my left, my buddy checks it back. The turn is the 5 of clubs, and once again, action goes check, check. Doesn't seem like neither of us have too much. The river is a queen, an unimproved. Ace high doesn't look too great anymore, but when action goes check, check, I show ace high. And look at that. One by one, these players look at their cards and end up folding. We win. Thank you, dealer. Ace high takes it down. This ace high hand wins for about 300 big blinds here at 1-2. What is this session? Just madness in the streets. For the last notable hand of the night, this time we actually pick up something legitimate. Pocket 10s on the button. Wolfgang opens up $10 in early position, action back onto me, knowing that he's also playing very deep stacked, about $2,000 to $3,000. I size up for a 3-bet to 55, and action folds back to him, and he makes the call. Going to a flop of ace 4-3 rainbow, we have an overpair, and when he checks to me, I want to size up here, definitely going to put in a c-bet and protect pocket 10s. I size up to $75, and he decides on a call for 75. So looks like we can get a big pot brewing, but when the turn comes in ace, that's an action killer for our side, it seems. He checks to me, and I don't think we have too much of a decision besides checking this one back. Card over a pair, probably one of the worst cards over a pair to see. We're off to a river. The river comes an inconsequential brick, and now he throws out a bet of $25. Oh man, Alex. Wolfgang, $25, sure. With pocket 10s, we have second pair. We're gonna have to pay you off, even though you probably have an ace a lot. So I call. Wolfgang shows us the bad news of ace 8 of diamonds, top on the flop, and drilled the turn. Nice hand, Wolfgang. Nice bet on the river. You might have gotten the max out of me.
Wrapping up the session. This might have been the most bizarre session ever. Not because it was Gold Nugget uncapped 1-2, not because of the poker, but because
He's been watching too much MMA. He turned into McGregor today.
we got into some beef today. Off camera, it may or may not be on his vlog.
It's on my vlog. It's fully on the vlog.
Alright, we got in some beef with some guy who's talking mad shit, talking about how he has so much more money than everyone at the table. He was
Ethan had like 7K on the table. Dude buys in for 100. He's like, I make more money than you.
Talking shit about how he has more money, he's better at poker, he's a shark, I'm a big whale, all this bullshit. And I'm like, alright, put your money where your mouth is. It's an uncapped 1-2. Let's go. I challenged him to heads up for rolls. He says he's make more money than me in a week than I do in a year or some bullshit. A lot of shit talking. The poker, whatever. We were in for 7K, out for 7K. Literally broke even zero. Doesn't matter. We're talking about the bullshit that happened.
We stacked him. We stacked
He
him.
got stacked. We stacked
I
him.
stacked ace queen.
You
versus
stacked him.
Ace king. We spiked a queen on the flop.
You sucked out in the first way. I think
$600 pot.
I stacked him once. It was fun. Anyways, a lot of shit talking. I'm pretty fired up because, like, we're gonna talk shit. Back it up. Let's go. But he was saying he's gonna kick my ass. Whatever.
And then he gave you a hug.
And then he tried to say he watches the channel and was like, "Hey, dude, I'm just talking shit. Support you, this and that." I'm like, yeah, all right, buddy. Kid was so drunk. Anyways, this is the most shit show outro you'll ever see. We're like a couple shots deep.
Yeah.
But it's 3 a.m. Wrapping the session. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. You guys don't really care that much about the theatrics that didn't happen during poker, but I'm letting you guys know because that was ridiculous. But profit of legit 0, broke even, so this was a wash. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you made it this far. Golden Nugget. Unfortunately, the magic wasn't relived like last time, but better videos coming out next time. See you next time. Peace.